We're doing like a double dip Gravity Rush today. And Monster Hunter, which is kind of nice because I think I need to play a little bit more Monster Hunter. Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of tapped out yesterday. I think it was the sleep. And also being late. So pretty much everything that happened that day kind of screwed it up. Maybe I should use the fast travel. I feel like I rarely use the fast travel in games like this. Even in Elden Ring, where it's like, I do fast travel pretty frequently. I also just walk around on the horse all the time. I'm trying to think of games where it's like, yeah, you pretty much have to fast travel. I probably fast travel a lot in like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Which button is slide? Yeah, we're still there. You don't play Gravity Rush for one day, you forget which button does what. I did turn on the noise suppressor on my mic, so I don't think I talked about it in Gravity Rush, but it should help with that sort of ambient microphone noise. I did a little test, and it's still kind of there, but it's definitely not as noticeable. And that's specifically when there's no other audio. Like, it was already not noticeable when the game audio was like just going. Yeah, we probably just don't go fast enough. That could be gold, though. Yeah, I don't think we can beat it right now. Or I'd just have to like take a mega shortcut like right here. I mean, that could work. Let's give it another go. Go. Remember when I said that could work? I'm thinking maybe that makes us go a little bit faster. Yeah, couldn't I just... I guess not. Yeah, and you can't even... Okay, we're gonna retry this. Man, I wish that worked. And we just can't go up it, right? It does just go up. Oh, that ain't good. And it looks like stream is not using up like any more CPU. It said more CPU usage. See, it's weird. It's just being random. I'm like, it didn't work. And I tried it again. It did work. So, I don't know. And then that start was kind of Kind of one of those starts. So let's just not do that. I think that's just a chance to maybe get a good time, but we just want to get gold. It's not like we're competing against anybody anymore anyway. No way. Okay, we can't do it. We need a speed boost. Hey, morning. Happy Friday. Where is our other missions? We only have a couple side missions. I thought we had more. You know what? Let's try new strat called use the fast travel. As fun as it is to just fall from really high up, you know, it does take some time. Shoutouts to Being Afraid of Heights, even though this is one game that really doesn't trigger that feeling of fear in me. What am I gonna do if I can't find it? Something the matter? You don't look like someone who lives in Alonia. I'm looking for an author. Tossed his manuscript and fled right before the deadline. I heard he was flightly from the other editors before getting assigned to him. I definitely did not read that right. But he really got me good on this one. What am I gonna do? Calm down. I'll help you find him. You'd do that for me? Oh, thank you, thank you. I've got to warn you. Won't be easy. He's a little eccentric. Whenever he gets stuck on a novel, tries to become one with the characters he's writing. Goes all out with the costumes and everything. They're very good. Does sound eccentric. So, how am I supposed to find him if he's in disguise? Well, I have a picture of the models he was using for the characters. Here's the plot synopsis. Together might help you with finding him. He's probably dressed like this, emulating the character's actions in the synopsis. I'm like, in synthesis? Photosynthesis? You can find him. Could you bring him to the front of our building in Le Calmonsna? That's a new one. I'll run back and try to get an extension on the deadline. Okay, I'll bring him right over. Time to get started. Finding this guy in his disguise. I think I need to caffeinate a little bit. It was a little rough. There must be a hint to finding the guy in this plot synopsis. There was a man, very ordinary man with an ordinary life. He was bored. But one day, met a very strange and very unkempt young boy. The boy used his strange powers to let the man experience 3 different lives. I guess this guy gets to experience a life as 3 totally different people. So chapter 1. First life was the life of a bandit in the poor neighborhood. Although he was enamored with the thrilling life of a bandit, the weak man was not cut out for the life of a thief. Gave up the first life, wished for the next life. If the author is becoming this character, Must be wearing a bandit costume. Wonder if he's posing as an angry centipede member. Check over at their hideout. Must be around here. Let me check that picture. Just have to look for someone that looks like this. There sure are a lot of people that look like this. Synopsis made it sound like a character wasn't adjusting well to life as a bandit. Not cut out for the life and weak. Or those were my hints. I think you've got the wrong guy. Okay. Definitely around this area. Oh. Wait, no, he's got the wrong haircut. Hey, angry centipede guy. What do you want? Seems awfully nervous for a tough guy. You're the missing author, aren't you? I'm about to sneeze. No, I'm a rebel with a cause. Bad boy who would care less about manuscript deadlines. I know all about you and your disguises. The fact that you mentioned the manuscript deadline is a dead giveaway. It's not just anyone who can see through my disguise. Did my editor send you? Yep. Really left her in a bind. We need to get back. I can't. My masterpiece isn't finished yet. But a manuscript deadline is a promise. If they're paying you to do a job, you have to honor that promise. I'm an artist. You can't rush art. The muses scoff at your deadline. I only care about what's best for my masterpiece. Hey guys, the rich have sent another one of their tools down here to infiltrate us. What? Did they send you? You a spy? You better fess up if you know what's good for you. Oh, wait, it's Cat. Who's the wise guy that dared call her a tool of the rich? And ran off. She's just an author posing as one of you to get inside his character's head. Guess I better read more of the plot synopsis for another hint. The man's second life was a dock worker. The man had always wanted to feel the sweat on his brow as he labored. Nice read. I'm out of it today, man. But he did not have the strength for that kind of hard work. In fact, the only job he could do was counting boxes day after day. Gave up the second life and wished for his third and final life. A dock worker, eh? Guess I'll find him at the harbor. Hey, need any help? It's okay. It's between me and that author. Just made it personal. I'll make him keep his promise. Make that deadline, one way or another. Okay, made it to the harbor. Better check the picture. How do I have a picture? Oh, picture of the character in the book. I forgot that part of the side quest. So I just need to find someone that looks like this. Isn't going to be easy. A lot of people fit the description. But the synopsis did mention the character didn't have the strength for the work. Gotta be this guy. He's counting boxes. One, two, three. Just standing around, counting boxes. I'll bet. Found you. Now, are you gonna come with me or not? I don't know what you mean. I'm just here happily counting boxes. I haven't seen you lift a one. Just like the character in your book. Can't fool me. How'd you find me again? Thought my disguise was perfect for sure. Give you credit for your persistence. I admire persistence. In fact, I'm so inspired that I wrote a synopsis for a new short story starring you. Care to read it? I only take feedback from people I admire. You made me the heroine of a story? Awesome. I'll bet this story's great. I'd love to read the synopsis. You'll love it. It's all about you. Ran off again. Getting real fed up with this guy. Back to the synopsis. The third chapter, and becomes a wealthy celebrity. He's playing a rich character. Must be hiding in Ley Havana. Havana's so big. Take ages to find that author. Maybe I should read further for a hint. Now that the man was wealthy, he willed away his days of luxurious comfort. As the days passed, he realized something. He had money, but he lacked meaning. He stared up at the sky from the pier next to his mansion. There he continued to stand and ponder his life, frozen like a statue. Got it. Just have to look for someone standing frozen somewhere on a pier. Here's the picture. It's not gonna be this guy. Is it? He's got hair. That didn't go as planned. Gotta have that specific design on his shirt. Look, the talk button is the same as the kick button, okay? It's difficult. The three brothers? Man, this mission just has to be like hard-coded just to spawn in those guys. There ain't no way that happens randomly. I mean, it did happen randomly, but specifically because it was supposed to. So was it truly random? Nope. You know, I could probably fly. Guaranteed there's just a guy standing still somewhere. Guaranteed. We're not like completely still, but he's standing. He's looking up. Okay, we're back to the start. Okay, they're putting in some fog. Actually, I think that's like dynamically like a cloud. You know, coming through the actual island. Okay, if I keep asking people, are they just gonna like eventually give me a hint? No mansion. Yeah, standing. Well, I guess that was maybe a dead giveaway that he was standing still, but none of the other guys were moving. Be up there. Does this count? Or am I going to get the little indicator to go back? No? We could be on track. This is not him. Am I really gonna have to go to every one of these? I would have thought they put me in the general area. Oh, you see someone. And I guess, you know, he wasn't standing still like a statue. Like this guy who's standing so still. Got birds around him. Guy's awful suspicious. Hasn't moved an inch since I first saw him. I found you. I'm not letting you get away. Don't just stand there. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Guess he's pretty persistent too. Wonder if he can stand up to a little tickle. Coochie coochie coo. Coochie coochie. Am I gonna get age restricted now? YouTube? It's just a game. Now you ready to go back with me to meet your editor? Fine. And see, I can't fool you. More like it. I better not get like an age restriction. Could you give me a moment? to change out of this disguise? Those belong to the owner of this house. Just lent them to me. Guess so. I'll just wait here. Dude, he's gonna bolt. He ain't coming back. Me an author? A good one. Hey, thought you were gonna change your clothes. Who are you? Did you hit your head? This is my house. You don't leave immediately. I'll call security. You hear me? This isn't the author. He ran off again. Is there anything left in the synopsis I can use? He lived many lives, but none of them satisfied him. So he set back on his bike. Setting off on a bike. He's making a run for it. I think there was a bike by the pier. That has to be the author on that bike. Wait. You're too late. Ah. You're the guy that just passed me earlier. You're the author. I'm heading off on a journey of self-discovery. Give the editor my regards. You said you would come back with me. You lied. The only one I owe the truth is to my muse. I won't go until my masterpiece is complete. I won't let you escape. You're gonna meet that deadline, like it or not. How do you propose to stop me? Ha ha ha. Legit can't catch up? Oh, I forgot. You can recenter. Oh no, we're gaining. What's happening to the bike? Losing altitude. He's in trouble. Nice. Gotcha. I don't want to die before my masterpiece is complete. You can open your eyes now. You're still alive. I am? Wait, I'm flying. How is this possible? Ready to go back now? Wait. I think I have it. My ending. When the man had no more lives to live, a miracle occurred. He was saved, given a chance to reflect on his old life. That's when he discovered the truth. Life is not about what you decide to be, but who you decide to be. The man promised from then on to live a life true to who he was true to who he was, the end. Huh? Not quite sure the rest of the book was leading to that. We'll run with that if it means you'll come back with me to your editor. The manuscript. You have it? It's all up here in my head. Just have to write it. I have this girl to thank for my ending. She was the miracle I needed. Glad to be a miracle. You ready to get to the writing now? The chief said he had a special room prepared for you. Special room? You mean a writer's prison? Prison? I'll be good. I promise. I'll meet the deadline. You'll be free from the moment... And you'll be free the moment you finished it. Please, please. Anywhere but there. Really saved my skin. I'll make sure he follows through on his promise and meets that deadline. Glad I could help. I guess I'm glad I'm not an author. I never want to be thrown in a special room. The bestseller talisman. We'll have one more mission. Oh, it's pretty far down. You know, if you fast travel, you miss all the gem. And ever since the other day when I was talking about the Vita, I can't stop but think about like how it was almost really good. It just really tripped right out of the gate. Never recovered. It was just a touch too ambitious in the wrong areas, and it kind of cost it. Because I'm pretty sure there was a class action lawsuit against the Vita. And I think it had to do with like the mobile data plans you could get for it. I think that was only in the States though. I don't think that feature ever was available in I guess anywhere else in the world. And it didn't need to have that, but it was something with that and the Vita just not being capable to like really handle it, or it not working properly at launch. It was something about that. And they lost a lawsuit. Oh, the seagull. That didn't help. Heard you raced my little brother the other day. Might have beaten him, but he won't be in Azure Lightning. You're related to that boy from before. According to my calculations, your odds of winning are 0. The only way to test those numbers is to race, eh? Not everything comes down to numbers. Brother learned that with that bird feeder. My bird won't be tempted. I made sure you had plenty to eat. You did? How could you have possibly known we'd be racing? Right. It's time to prove life doesn't always go by the numbers. I don't think so. You'll soon have to learn. The numbers never lie. Kids spitting facts. Optimist versus realist? Oh, I'm bad. But I think it's one of those you know, you can't really win or lose. You just do the mission. So it's nice that this one's a little bit shorter. I want to do some mining. That's the one thing that I haven't really been focusing on. And I want to up the camera controls. I feel like they're just right by the default. Yeah, see, it's like I can't even see how far ahead he is now. One of those random events of life. I won. Told you that you couldn't trust everything to numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Azure Lightning. Didn't count on him getting distracted by a bunch of wild birds. Guess next time I need to account for more factors in the scope of my mathematical models. You win, fair and square. But you won't beat my brother. He's a living legend. A living legend, eh? Sounds like a challenge. Bro is crying. Azure Lightning Talisman. Guess I should look to see what we're getting. Cover energy faster. Oh, that's Golden Victory. Is that the one we just got? I think it must be. Lowers the amount of energy for gravity kicks, while in normal gravity don't use as much energy shifting. That actually seems pretty good. Bestseller. Increases maximum distance. Can be thrown. Actually, this might be good. Bestseller. These are both... They're both pretty good. This one gives you more. I kind of want to take this. I think we'll go with that. Oh, I have some of these too? What? Master Miner. Give me that. Oh, yeah, Azure Victory. This is the one we got. I thought those were for the other gravity styles, so I didn't even look. I didn't even think we could get those until we had them. But I think that's all the side stuff for now. And, yeah. Not too many challenges. But we'll do the mining. And then we'll do the story stuff. Yeah, it's a little scary, man. Thinking about the Vita, it's a little scary. Because it could have been something. And I've heard that there's possible rumors of another, like, PSP successor. I don't know if that's true or if people are just kind of associating the Sony I don't know what it's called. It's basically the PS5 controller with the big tablet in the middle. I don't know if people are just assuming that is like their next PSP, even though it's basically just a streaming device with the PS5 controller. It actually just looks like... Do you remember the GameCube controller with the keyboard for Phantasy Star Online? It looks like that, but like the PlayStation version of that. And instead of a keyboard, it's just a tablet. The PlayStation Portal. I think people are maybe like associating that with what this is. Because I haven't heard anything about like a new portable system. And technically, you know, if you abbreviate it, it does mean PSP. They do have rumors of a new portable system. Okay. You know, I bet you they are. They're sitting there, like, kicking themselves. They're like, man, we almost had the Nintendo Switch before the Switch existed. They almost had it. That's why it's scary. And then Nintendo just swoops in and it takes all the glory. And it's funny because they both had similar systems and they both had mistakes that made them horrible. But they kind of recovered in different ways. Except Sony, I guess, technically didn't recover. But the Switch is just, you know, it's what the Wii U should have been. And it was more of, I don't know. It wasn't like a technical thing. I think it was just, the Vita just tried to be way too ambitious. And it had too many moving parts. And it just, like I said, it stumbled right out of the gate. And just could not recover. Having like its own memory stick that you had to buy to save at launch. It had no internal memory until the second version. Second version didn't have an OLED screen. And was, you know, it was a cheaper option and technically, I guess, better because it did have some internal memory. And I'm not even talking about the price, man. I would have to look at what I have. I think I only have like an 8 gig memory stick or whatever they're called. And I think it was like an extra $100 for that thing. And you had to buy one at launch or you were not saving. It was insane. You know, and obviously, you know, you could get it with a data plan. So you could play your whatever games anywhere, multiplayer, which I think is the reason for the class action lawsuit, if I'm remembering that correctly. And then just like immediately at that point, that's what caused it to be like a problem. Like nobody wanted to buy it. Really only enthusiasts wanted it. So it just never had an install base, never got that support from like more than just first party development. And maybe a couple exclusives that were funded by Sony. And yeah, just could not bring it back. And they really did. They did try. I don't want to say they put in maximum effort, but they really did try and kind of make it like, you know, this is a companion for the PS4. You know, you can stream from it. They've already done the streaming thing. The Vita did that before this Portal. You're considering a portal because your PS5 is hooked up to a second input on a monitor that can split and display two different inputs. But I never use it that way. Yeah, I didn't have good enough internet at the time to kind of stream from PSP. I could, and it would kind of work, but then like after a while it just like got so like, I don't know what would happen, but it would just like desync and just get bad. I guess that's the word, it would desync. But like they had it, and I know people used it a lot for Final Fantasy. You basically had the only version of Final Fantasy 14 that was mobile. And I would not be shocked to hear people still do that to this day. I would not be shocked to hear that. Unless like the PS4 version of 14 is like not supported anymore. That's the only way I could see that not happening. And the Vita was a great indie machine. Like that was probably the bread and butter for a long time. Is like it was the only system that was portable and strong enough to play, you know, some of these games that were only on console or PC. And it had that niche. I was going to mine. I was collecting gems and I lost my train of thought. You think support may be going away with the next expansion? Yeah, because they are doing the graphical improvements. I did see those, and it does look a touch nicer. And I saw people talking about the grapes. But they're implementing like a piece of furniture that is just that. Which is pretty funny. But I mean, you don't have to really like you wouldn't have to end support, but I guess if you were going to move forward with graphical improvements, you wouldn't really develop stuff that would run on the old graphics. Unless it's just like a weird new kind of way they're going to configure the graphic settings, then I guess you technically could. Because I think World of Warcraft still allows you to select like older graphics. I know they did a model update for all their old stuff. Rich ore deposit. Okay. So it does change. Yeah, that was kind of the big thing, because it wasn't getting exclusives, it wasn't getting new games. So it was basically just like you could play Spelunky or whatever indie game on there and Final Fantasy 14 streamed from your PS4. Didn't I get an alert that said there was something going on here? Treasure hunt. Yeah. Wish that was still around. Guys, there was so much more to this game. Not so much more, but just enough more that it really made it like something else. And I really hope if they're going to do that Gravity Rush movie, I hope they prep it with maybe some remasters. I know the first game already got remastered, but I mean like remake, remaster. You know, and just bring on, you know, the old development team as like consultants. Or like maybe some graphical changes or updates. You know, we'll be good. And either bring back the online or make it a system that can, you know, exist without a server needing to be up. Just like make it a randomly generated treasure that you can look around for. Like we did find one. They do exist in the game. But it's purely chance if you're going to find them. And I think it even has a supremely low chance to even have like the token you need. Oh, there is actually way more than there was last time here. Oh, man, it was, weird time in history. Gaming history, not like actual world history. The Vita had literally no impact on anything. At a world level. Maybe in the gameosphere, but not the worldosphere. Yeah, really, like, I couldn't tell you what was coming out on the Vita at the end of its life. And I really did mean to pick up Muramasa, and I never did, and I regret it. But even if I did get it, there'd be no way I could stream it. I'd need a Vita TV. And I don't know, could you... I don't know if those things took the memory sticks. They probably did. That would be the only way I could stream it. And I don't even own it. And I can't even get the DLC anymore. I'd need to, like, speak with a Sony PlayStation representative and just have them donate all that stuff. They'd have to get one guy to, like, dig through the piles. And not even just piles of, like, equipment, but, like, piles of possibly files that are not even up online anymore. Or I don't know. They could probably just talk to Vanillaware. Probably get it from them. This is the worst hypothetical ever. we'll have to deal with the Wii version. Whenever I get to Muramasa, we'll just have to deal with the Wii version, which is the original release. Just doesn't have any of the nice new stuff, and will look old. I mean, I rarely hear people talk about Vanillaware games. I think 13 Sentinels did pretty well. Because I've seen it at least a couple times, but I'd never heard anyone talking about Muramasa or Dragon's Crown. Or, you know, like maybe one or two people who kind of are in that genre. Like, it never, like, broke out of that niche. And, I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good game. I used to have a hard time describing what kind of game it was, but then I heard it was someone describe it as just like a Metroidvania, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like a Metroidvania. That's probably the best way to describe it. Because you kind of just have these zones, and it's like, oh, well, you can't go through this because you need this item, and then you go and get that item, then you go to the next zone. So it is very Metroidvania-like. Man, playing that in like, I think, what was the resolution of the Vita? It had to be like 720-ish. Resolution rather than like the 420 the Wii was on, or lower. $960 by $540. I mean, well, I mean, I guess that's the screen's resolution, but what resolution could the games go up to? I guess they wouldn't really have to go above that. But if you had a Vita TV, I think that would kind of matter, or maybe it just didn't. Maybe they just... Yeah, what's the deal with that? What the heck? I've not heard anyone have this conversation ever. Because you put the Vita stuff on a TV. Are you playing the stuff on the TV? And this was like when like high definition TVs and stuff were like pretty common. During the Wii was like, you maybe had a plasma screen. You could maybe get something like that. Flat screen. But that's about it. It was flat screen and was very thin. And by very thin, I mean thinner than your tube TV. That's what I'm saying is like, could the games be upscaled? Did they even have the files to be upscaled? Like bigger? Or did it just like stretch the resolution? Which would look not great. If you were putting it on a TV. Like something like the new 3DS where the screen is like slightly bigger. It's like, okay, well, it's maybe... You can maybe see it get a little bit blurry. It's maybe not as sharp. But it's a bigger system and you don't care. Feels nicer in your hands. But like going from like that to like a full screen TV, I don't know. I mean, there is a reason why these things failed. I just don't know specifically why. That could be one of them. But even then, I guess it would still look better than like the Wii. It would look better than a system from 2 generations ago at the time, because we would be in the Wii U generation. Would you say that's 2, or would you just say that's 1 generation apart? I guess technically it's 1, but it's not the last one. I have to describe that in a different way. Upscale to 720? That's not too bad. You couldn't upscale it to like 1080p. There's no way. So it might not look supremely great on like a big screen, but like if you just had like a little personal TV, it probably looked okay. And probably on like YouTube, probably looks fine. Otherwise, they did run at the 540 on TV. Oh no. Oh no, that's and I could see a lot of those running at that. I could see a lot of developers being like, yeah, we're not adding upscaling. Our game didn't even sell on your stupid system. We're not patching that in. So you know what? They tried. At least they tried. Like, that's what I'm saying, is they tried, man. They really did try to save the thing. Where like Nintendo with the Wii U, they kind of just were like, okay, let's pack it up and just get something better. But I think comparing Sony to Nintendo is like it's 2 different animals. You have to remember, Nintendo has like infinite money because they make so much profit, especially during like the Wii and DS era. Where I think the PS2 is the most selling console, like of all time. I think like the Wii and DS just like combined. just gave Nintendo just that bit of extra. What am I trying to say? Like extra, I don't want to say gas in the tank, but they have like a lot in reserve. They have a lot in reserve. And obviously there's that famous statement from Iwata, cutting his pay to not fire anyone during the Wii U fail era. PS2 155 million, DS 154 million. The Switch's at 140. Oof, if it wasn't dying this year, Switch maybe would have had it. But that's kind of the landscape of just gaming at the time though is insane for PS2. That's actually insane. And I guess that's lifetime, so it's not that insane. But still. When the PS2 came out, it was the cheapest DVD player. Yeah, that is true. I feel like that was the case for the PS3 and being like the cheapest Blu-ray player, but I think that might not be true. Because I know a lot of people were not thrilled with the PS3 launch price. So I don't know, maybe they just thought that strategy would work again and it kind of didn't. Which is why there's so many iterations of the PS3. Even though arguably the first version of it is the best because it has that backwards compatibility, which kind of added to why the price was so much. Because I think it was just like it could run PS1, 2, and 3. And they removed all of that except for PS1. I think every PlayStation 3 could play PS1, but it couldn't play PS2. Only the first generation. And then possibly even that got removed. But PS3 was the first Sony console. I guess no, I technically owned a PSP, but I didn't buy it at launch. Picked up at a garage sale. But like we have a PS3 Slim. And then I didn't own a PS4 until the Pro came out, which was kind of a waste because I ended up buying a PS5. And I thought about selling my PS4 because I'm like, I'm never going to use the thing. It's literally just a PS4 and the PS5 does the exact same thing. If not slightly better. So kind of a waste there. But I really wanted to play Kingdom Hearts 3. All right. Yeah, I did get God of War as well, but I specifically bought it for Kingdom Hearts. And I guess Bloodborne as well. But I didn't play Bloodborne until like way later. I did not even... Didn't play it at launch. Didn't play it when the DLC was new. Played it way late. Thanks. Just running me off. The kick. Now I don't really care. Not the biggest caring guy. How do I get to... I think I just pressed the wrong button. Yes, I did. Oh, it's a D-pad. D-pad is the map. Not D-pad up. D-pad down. No, it's not D-pad down. D-pad left. D-pad right. Every direction was wrong except the last one. And there's something about the PS4 as well, like, or is it PS4 Pro? There was something about it, like, really early on. It might have been patched out. Because I remember people talking about Bloodborne on the PS4 Pro or PS5. And I think early on it did, like, hardware-wise, upscale it to 60 FPS. Like when it wasn't supposed to. Because it doesn't do that anymore. But I can't confirm if that's true. I've just heard something about Bloodborne running at 60 FPS. Unlike PS4 Pro. Which, I mean, it should just do that. Actually, one of the funniest things ever that I've seen. And it makes me laugh because I can't stand this, but this is like the one time where I'm like, man, this actually is super nice. Is one of my friends has he has a nice TV, but he doesn't turn the auto smoothing off. Like ever, and it drives me nuts because I hate it. I can't stand it. So if there's ever like a movie playing, I'm just like, I'm literally angry watching this. But I remember I came over one time and he was playing Tears of the Kingdom, and the auto smoothing actually just straight up made the game look 60 FPS. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's like actually good. The one time auto smoothing actually helped. It's on like the Nintendo Switch games. And I don't know if maybe Nintendo was hoping more people would do that. But it actually looked intentional. So I don't know if you have an auto smoothing TV, maybe you can kind of play these games in 60 FPS. Not really, but almost. But you know, the second I notice it, I'm turning it off. Even though I've only done that once. There was only ever one TV that had auto smoothing. Yeah, I was just looking for the exit. I think we've done a pretty good clean sweep. Even though I see more. But you know, we're here for the gotcha. We're not here for the gems. The gems are nice, but we're here for the gotcha. Please, Sony, do not turn Gravity Rush into a gotcha game. I'll cry. I'll actually just straight up cry. I wonder what the gravity concentration means. I wonder if it just means like more like loot or higher quality loot. I have to look that up. I'm sure there's a tutorial, and I think I said this last time. But I didn't look, man. I ain't playing these games off stream. I played probably a bit too much Monster Hunter off stream. But I was trying to fix a problem because I noticed when I was streaming it, some of the hits felt like really crunchy, like the audio like messed up. So I verified the files, reinstalled the game, and I think that didn't fix it. I think the thing that fixed it was just swapping weapons. So I don't know if something happened, or like maybe it's just like sometimes that just happens to certain weapons, but I think we're good. I think we're good in terms of that not happening again. I actually need to go to the bathroom.